You know, some stories, they feel like they've been clawed right out of our worst nightmares. So tonight, come on, take a drive with me. We're heading down a very lonely stretch of road, deep in the heart of Blackwood Forest. It's a place where some stories, well, they just never, ever end.
See, it didn't start with a scream, and it didn't start with some ghost popping up in the rearview mirror. No, it started quietly, insidiously. It started with a sound that just shouldn't have been there. A low, humming murmur that was the road's first terrible hello.
All right, so let's set the scene. I want you to picture Alex. He's all alone in his beat-up sedan, and it is well past midnight. He's made a bad bet, a shortcut he saw on an old map, right through the notoriously dark Blackwood Forest. And it's a decision that's going to cost him a whole lot more than just time.
And the thing is, he's just so vulnerable. I mean, he's been on the road for 12 hours straight, completely wrung out from a brutal work week. His GPS gave up the ghost an hour ago. The only light he has is the flickering, unreliable glow from his own dashboard. He is completely, totally alone and just teetering on the edge of exhaustion. The perfect prey.
So he does what any of us would do. He tries to drown out the creepy whispering with the radio. But the road answers back. Not with music, just this awful, hissing static. And woven into it, something that will make the hair on your arm stand up. The faint, distorted sound of children laughing. A sound that should be innocent, but here it's just anciently wrong.
What do you do when your own senses start to betray you? You try to explain it away, right? Alex tells himself it's just the fatigue, his mind playing tricks on him. A simple, desperate lie just to keep that rising panic down. But the forest doesn't give a damn about logic.
And this is the exact moment when all the rationalizations stop working. It's the moment the haunting stops being something he can just hear and becomes something he can see. The road isn't just whispering anymore, now it's showing him its teeth.
Can you imagine that ice-cold shock, that jolt of pure terror? You glance in your rearview mirror expecting nothing but darkness, and instead you find these pale, empty faces pressed right up against the back glass. He whips his head around, of course, and they're gone. But that image, oh, that image is burned into his brain. He is not alone in that car.
And then the road gives him its first real test. A girl, a ghostly hitchhiker in this tattered white dress. She just materializes out of the fog ahead. His reaction is pure instinct. He slams on the brakes, the car skidding on the wet asphalt. But just as suddenly as she appeared, she's gone. And as he's trying to catch his breath, he hears it, a sharp, tearing sound. And right there, on the hood of his car, are fresh, deep scratches. Physical proof. This is real.
That gasp, it's more than just a question, you know? It's the sound of his entire reality just shattering. That thin wall between a bad dream and a waking nightmare has just been completely torn down. The danger isn't in his head anymore. It's on his car. See, this isn't just some random haunting. Alex has accidentally stumbled into something much, much older, something hungrier. These isolated little scares are about to become a full-on assault, and it's all driven by the road's own dark history.
And the change is immediate. It's terrifying. Those subtle whispers that started this whole thing, they're now agonizing screams echoing from all around him. And the shadows under the trees are no longer just shadows. They start to peel themselves away from the darkness, taking on these horrible, shambling forms that begin to pace the car.
Right at the edge of his headlights, these horrors just start flickering into view. First, it's a logger. Looks like he's from a forgotten time, with the tool of his trade buried deep in his own skull. His dead eyes are just fixed right on Alex.
Then, another vision flashes into view. A whole family, their bodies twisted and broken from some phantom car wreck. Their eyes are just these empty, pleading sockets that seem to be begging for release, or maybe for company.
And then the attack becomes physical. One of those forms actually reaches right through his open passenger window. He feels this impossible, bone-chilling touch of cold fingers right on the back of his neck. He swerves, of course, hits a tree, and when he looks back, there's nothing there but mist. But that feeling of the cold, it stays.
So after the crash, he glances at the dashboard, and this is the detail that just freezes his blood. The clock. It stopped. 12:13 a.m. No matter how many times he taps the glass, it doesn't move. He's no longer just on a haunted road. He's trapped inside a single moment of time. The road's time.
So why is this happening? Well, the local legends of Blackwood Forest, they have an answer. They call this stretch of pavement the Revenant Road. The story goes that way back in the 1920s, a logging convoy crashed right into the ravine and everyone died. Now their spirits are eternally trapped here, hungry, and they spend their eternity luring new victims to join their ghostly wreck. So, understanding the legend doesn't help him escape. Nope, it only makes the horror clearer. This road isn't just haunted, it's a predator. And now, as he starts to see the same landmarks over and over, Alex realizes the trap is sprung.
Then he sees it, a little glimmer of hope. A small, crumbling shrine on the side of the road, probably a memorial left for the very souls that are now tormenting him. He thinks maybe, just maybe, it's a sanctuary, a place the spirits can't touch. So he pulls over. It's a fatal mistake.
A voice just slithers out of the car's glove box, and it's not a ghostly wail or some monster's growl. It's his own voice, twisted into this horrifying invitation. The road isn't just trying to kill him, it wants to consume him, to make him a part of itself. And the final moments are just pure chaos. Click, the door locks slam shut, trapping him inside. Rotting fists start pounding on every window as the faces of the damned press in against the glass. In one last act of screaming defiance, Alex slams his foot on the gas. But the car doesn't lurch forward on the road. It just plunges nose first into an abyss of pure black nothingness.
And then, the screaming stops. The forest goes quiet. But the story of the Revenant Road, well, it's a cycle. And every cycle needs a new beginning.
When daylight finally breaks through the trees, the authorities find his car. It's just a crumpled wreck at the bottom of the ravine, the exact same spot where that logging convoy fell all those years ago. The clock on the dashboard is ticking again. But the car is empty. Alex is gone.
But he isn't really gone, because up on that cursed stretch of asphalt, just as the evening fog begins to roll in, a new figure appears at the side of the road. A man in a rumpled jacket, his thumb out, his face pale in the twilight, waiting patiently for the next set of headlights.
And so, the cycle continues on the Revenant Road. It's a chilling reminder that some shortcuts, they lead to destinations you can never, ever leave. Which leaves us with just one final lingering question. If you saw him standing there, would you stop?